Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and here I have the Wayfarer or wayfaring tree, Viburnum lantana, a species which is native to Germany. Actually, it's native to pretty much all of Europe and small parts of North Africa and Southwest Asia. Yeah, and it's one of those trees, well, rather shrubs. It's rarely a tree, usually it's a shrub in the Viburnum genus, where the fruit are supposed to be edible despite being mildly toxic. Yeah, the internet still cannot agree. The traditional sites usually say, yeah, they are toxic, or the ones which cite traditional books, and the more modern ones say, yeah, they are edible, but be careful, don't eat too much. Well, it seems it can cause vomiting, diarrhea, and general unpleasantness if you eat too much, so better don't consume it in large quantities. I think you might try a couple berries, but don't blame me if you get some symptoms from them. Yeah, how do you recognize it? Well, in Germany it's called the woolly Viburnum because the underside of the leaves is pretty woolly. In this it resembles Viburnum retinophilum, but the leaves are much shorter and it's a deciduous species. Now to the fruit. As you can see, the young fruit, well, first they are green with a reddish tinge, then they turn kind of whitish, pinkish, reddish, and then when they are ripe, they pretty suddenly turn black. The reddish ones are still rock hard. Well, not rock hard, but unripe berry hard. And this one, yep, the part which is black is soft, I can feel it, and the part which is still reddish is hard. So they turn soft, which I guess happens through apoptosis, so all the cells inside explode, and the fruit basically becomes a brownish, rotten-looking goo, like in many Viburnum species. However, it's not rotten, not yet. But this goo made up of exploded cells, well, as soon as the skin is pierced and it's infected with some yeast or bacteria or anything similar, it will start rotting. Well, here you can see, I guess, those are being attacked by some Drosophila and are rotting when the weather is less wet. They can also dry, and then you end up with a quite large and rough seed and a thin black layer of dried goo on top of it, which is also not edible. So basically, if you want to really eat the berries, you should eat them in this state where they are, already black and soft, but not dried or rotten yet. Well, let's try one of the unripe red fruit first. Bitter, also a little bit sour and astringent. Now let's try the goo in the ripe fruit. A hint of sweetness and also slight bitterness. Yeah. Now I know why many people consider them not edible. Yeah, basically, well, they are edible, not very pleasant, because they are slightly bitter. I've had some which were more sweet and at the same time more bitter. Those have a very faint sweetness and a very faint bitterness. Yeah. And also some fruity flavor which resembles dry prunes. Well, I guess the fruit from this shrub, yeah, I would eat a few of them if I had nothing else or if I was bored, because those have, yeah, almost no bitterness, but other individuals I've tried were a lot more bitter. So, yeah, what shall I say? A fruit which seems to be edible in small quantities, but don't overdo it if you don't like vomiting and diarrhea. But there is only a very short period in which they are ripe, like between being red and being shriveled up or rotten. There is only this, I think, a couple of days where they are black and plump and round. Yeah, so not really a very valuable fruit, to be honest. Not for humans, at least. Birds like it, but here in Heidelberg the birds have such an overkill with tasty fruit that they don't even eat it. Maybe they will eat it if there is nothing else. Okay, folks, this was the Wayfarer or wayfaring tree. In this case, a planted specimen on a roadside. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the countryside of Heidelberg. And if you want to support the channel, please like the videos, share the links, write some nice comments, and become a subscriber.